Hi there, this is David, and welcome to New RPG News. We have quite a lot of things to talk about today, from some new Dragon Quest titles in development, to some cool release dates, to a lot of Final Fantasy news, including the Final Fantasy IX remake. Yeah, finally some news on that. But first up, I did a review of WrestleQuest yesterday. The demo dropped the other day. Originally, the game was going to release on May 31st, but instead they just decided to kind of drop the demo then. And, I try to do my best on these, upcoming RPG releases, but you can only go with the information that you have at the time. So the game is actually coming out August 8th. I hope that you did watch the review that I did on it, because it's a pretty sweet game, if I do say so myself. It's coming out for the PS5, Xbox, PS4, Switch, and PC, as well as mobile. Yeah, it says on an iOS and Android via Netflix, of all things. I guess Netflix is somehow publishing this, but yeah, it's coming out August 8th. So if you are looking forward to the full game like I am, look no further than August. Valkyrian Arc Hero School Story 2 launches on June 22nd for the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. This is leaving early access, and it's a simulation, kind of meets strategy RPG. There's a new trailer that's being shown right above me. This is created by P-Cube, which has created quite a bit of decent RPGs. They never actually create anything that's like fantastic out there, but it's just decent, whatever they do create. And it says it's a twisting story spanning over 10 years. Unlock the shocking truth behind the awakening of the ancient dragon that wreaks havoc among the fractured world of Valkyria. You're in control, and you create and manage your own school. So yeah, it's another one of those high school JRPGs that I just love so much. Construct buildings, manage funds, and create a learning environment fit for future heroes. You have to curate a curriculum for your roster of students, and then it says you plan, forecast, execute in strategic turn-based combat. So at least we do have a turn-based RPG here, although it does look like a lot more simulation and management and taking care of the school and designing curriculum rather than actually getting out there and fighting. So if this looks like something that might interest you, be sure to mark your calendars. There's an RGG Summit Summer 2023 where they're going to talk about new titles on June 16th. This is going to be at 12 noon Japanese time, and basically this is the producers of the Yakuza, or the Like a Dragon series, as well as Sega, coming together to announce new titles. It is a new titles presentation. It says the broadcast is going to feature latest information on the Like a Dragon series. In addition to potential new title announcements, the studio will likely also share updates on Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name, and Like a Dragon 8. And we all know that these Yakuza Like a Dragon titles are all going to be turn-based from now on, so I am all about these, and I cannot wait. I loved Yakuza Like a Dragon. It was one of the best games of the year. Sometimes there's good news, sometimes there's bad news, sometimes there's great news! This is mind-blowing to me. The MegaMan Battle Network Legacy Collection sells over 1 million units worldwide in guess how long? 2 weeks. That's it. This is the fastest selling Mega Man game ever. Remember last week I came to y'all and the Final Fantasy producers were like begging you to buy more Live Alive copies, because we're like, we only sold 500,000. If we get up to 1 million, I might make a sequel. Ha! These guys got 1 million units in 2 weeks. How much you wanna bet we're gonna be getting a new Mega Man RPG? Maybe that Mega Man Legends 3 that was canceled will finally come out, 20-something years later. Maybe we'll get a Legends game. Maybe we'll get another Battle Network game. Who knows? But guess what? This is showing that there is a market for retro RPGs, a market for turn-based RPGs, a market for Mega Man RPGs. And you know what else Capcom makes besides Mega Man? Breath of Fire! They might think, a turn-based RPG is selling really well. What other turn-based RPG franchise do we have that's been abandoned? maybe we'll get a new Breath of Fire. Who knows what will come of this, but this is great news. Now for some kind of news of the weird. McDonald's in Japan has this, I don't know, Happy Meal toy, and it says you can play Tetris on this device shaped like a McDonald's Chicken McNugget. Yeah, seriously, that Tetris on a McDonald's Chicken McNugget. This is only in China, though. Like, why is this not here? I know we just got those Mario toys in the Happy Meals. We just got those when the movie came out and everything. But, like, this is hysterical. I love this. The official Tetris tweet. What happens when Tetris meets a Chicken McNugget? Exclusively available at McDonald's in China for a limited time. Fans can play Tetris on a Chicken McNugget game device. Like, please, if I have any fans in China, anybody, please buy me this stupid Chicken McNugget and send it my way. I have to have this thing. It is just so ridiculous, so unique. Like, it's a Tetris Chicken McNugget. Like, how could you pass this up? This thing needs to come to America, like, stat. This, oh my gosh. I'd be down there in a heartbeat getting this thing. And it can't be a week of RPG news without some Square Enix news. We have eight, count them, 8 stories pertaining to Square Enix and their games. First up, there was Dragon Quest Day, which is the anniversary of Dragon Quest, and normally we get some announcements on that day. And we actually got 2 pretty neat announcements. The first one, there is a new Dragon Quest Monsters title in development for the Nintendo Switch. No other platforms were announced, and we do know that Dragon Quest Treasures came out for the Nintendo Switch not that long ago. It came out in, like, what, December? And it hasn't been released on any other platforms, and that began as a Dragon Quest Monsters game, and then it spun off into Treasures. So they're probably going to use whatever base they had for Treasures and create that into a Monsters game. This is celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Dragon Quest Monsters series, which began over on the Game Boy. I remember buying that for the Game Boy and playing it and really liking it. So yeah, if you haven't played a Dragon Quest Monsters game, be sure to pick them up. They're pretty cool. It's basically Pokemon, essentially, but with, you know, Dragon Quest Monsters. Infinity's Trash, they need to change this name. Infinity Strash Dragon Quest The Adventure of Dai launches September 28th for the PS5, Xbox, PS4, Switch, and PC. Yeah, so we finally have a release date. All we knew before was that it was going to be in the fall. Now we know the exact date. Also, it says that it wasn't going to be available on the Xbox before, so the Xbox Series is a new announcement. We do not know if there will be a physical edition, but there better frickin' be. That's all I gotta say about that. This is Dragon Quest after all. There's gotta be. As of right now, you can pre-order it for $60 for the standard edition, $65 for the digital deluxe edition as well. And then I just have to talk about these names for a minute. There's a legendary mage outfit for Pop, I know. A legendary priest and legendary martial artist outfit for Ma'am. Like, thank you, ma'am. Ma'am? Really? Ma'am? Okay. Legendary swordsman and legendary warrior outfits for Hi Uncle? What? They've got to change these names. Like, it's just kind of ridiculous there. This is based on the anime series that has been out, which I haven't watched because, you know, it's anime. But, you know, it's an action RPG, and it reminds me a lot of Dragon Warrior 2, just these character designs. Like, you could see, like, that's the Prince of Midenhall, that's the Prince of Cannock, that's the Princess of Moonbrook, even though she's a martial artist, but whatever. It just looks really cool. And then you know, the Dark Lord isn't Hargon, he's Hadlar. But yeah, I'm still getting massive Dragon Quest II vibes right here, and I, for one, love Dragon Quest. Can't get enough of Dragon Quest. It's my favorite series of all time. I wish we had news on Dragon Quest 12, but, you know, God forbid. Or, you know, the Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake, and they're also remaking 1 and 2 HD 2D, but no news there. Front Mission news. We know that Front Mission 1, 2, and 3 are all going to get remakes. The first Front Mission game was a Switch exclusive. but it looks like it was a timed exclusivity, and now we know which systems it's coming to as well as what the release date is. It's coming to the PS5, Xbox, PS4, PC on June 30th. So if you don't have a Switch or you didn't pick it up for the Switch for whatever reason, now you can pick it up on whatever console you would like. It says it's going to be going for $35, but there will be a 10% off discount that will be available until June 12th. This, of course, is a strategy RPG game where it kind of takes place in like a post-apocalyptic future sort of dealio, where you like drive Wanzers around, and it's kind of like a World War II setting sort of thing. It's a pretty neat game, and it's based on the SNES original, so it's a relatively older series as well. So if you like strategy RPGs, be sure to check this one out. Also, in more Front Mission news, the Front Mission 2 remake has been delayed to an unannounced date. It's no longer coming out on June 12th. I believe that I spoke about this last time in the news, but I wanted to bring it up again because we do have a full statement right here. And I also want to talk about this because, how do I put this? I make videos about what games are coming out each month. And I put out a video saying, this game was going to be coming out on June 12th, and then it got delayed, and then I got a billion comments being like, David, it got delayed, it got delayed, it got delayed, it got delayed, it got delayed. And you know what? All I can do is put out a video based upon what information is available at the time. And I do my best doing that, but I also like to make my videos a little bit in advance, so I am prepared for it. I don't, I feel like some people think that whenever I make a video, I literally compile it that same day, and then boom, whenever I'm done compiling it, I release it right then and there. No, that's not the way it works. I have to come up with content, I have to write the script, I have to edit the script, I have to, source the footage, I have to edit the video. This thing, it takes a good week to do all that. So, I have to put these videos together in advance. So if I get a last minute delay in an upcoming release video, I'm very sorry, but the video's already made and it is what it is. But, I do try my best on that, so that's what I wanted to bring this up yet again. Man, this developer gets it. He's talking about Final Fantasy 16, and he says the success will lie in the story, but it's also his biggest worry. Whenever I play a Final Fantasy game, I play it for exploration, for looking around, for scenery, for dungeons, for character development, and for story. The story is really what I remember. And he went into an interview, and I'm just going to read a couple of quotes here. He says, I want to know how people think when they get to the end of the game and they've finished watching all the way to the end of the credits, and what they feel at that moment. How will they feel? That's what I want to know. I want to know if they're going to say, this was the greatest thing ever, or this was a really interesting story. I'm just waiting to see how the fans react to the story, because that's what we've put so much emphasis into. Then he goes on to apologize for the story in Final Fantasy 15, saying what a sorry state it was whenever it launched, and how it was kind of half-finished. He even kind of lambasts it, because he talks about how he wants to make right the problems of Final Fantasy 15, but at the same time makes something that can stand apart from its peers. He talks about how other action RPGs don't really focus on the story, they just focus on the action. Like, the story's there, but it's kind of in the background, So then he says, when we're moving to action, we also put a lot of effort into creating action. It's got to be about the story, because Final Fantasy is about the story. We put our main focus, even more than action, on that story. If you look back at the previous games at Final Fantasy 15, they all had their story, but it wasn't complete. And then whenever we try to make it complete, and then they promise some more story, they don't actually give us the story. So he's kind of, yelling at his, yelling at the development team right there. It's kind of interesting here. So it says a lot of people were disappointed in the story for 15. Like, even if they liked the game, they were left wanting because one of the main pillars of the Final Fantasy series, the stories, was not given to them. So first and foremost focus is on that story. He says that's what sets it apart. Then he goes even further. He says that he produced this differently to past titles because it is made in English first. Very interesting here. It says, well, the story was first written by Japanese creators, including creative director Kazutoyo Meihiro. That work then passed to localizers, led by Final Fantasy XIV's Michael Christopher Koji Fox, and in-house translator who led the charge on crafting that story for the English audience. The voice acting took place in English first, and then the script and performances were then translated back into Japanese. So basically they really did make this game with the Western audience in mind, with the English-speaking audience in mind, with the story first and foremost. So we are going to have to see how this does pan out. I, for one, have faith in the guy. He has a great track record behind him, and he produces smash hit after smash hit. So I, for one, am hopeful that later on this month, we are just going to get a banger on our hands. 2 stories on Final Fantasy VII remakes. The first is about Red 13, how he uses a collar as a weapon. If you remember in the original game, he used combs and clips and things like that, but now he's going to be using a collar as his weaponry. So this is just a quick little blurb about that, and then another quick little blurb about it. It says that the development on the game is progressing smoothly and according to plan, according to the producer. They posted a comment on the game's official Twitter account. It says, developing is processing smoothly and according to plan. We're currently working on nailing down a release date for the game. Right now, all we know is it's PS5 and this winter, but we do not have a firm date. But that date should be coming out really soon. And now for our final story of the day. The Final Fantasy IX Remake could be a PS5 exclusive, and the launch is at least 2 years away. I had to search far and wide for an article on this, and this is on IGN Italy. It's not even released in English yet, and I had to Google Translate it to get this to y'all. Now, this is still a rumor, but it comes from the same person who gave us multiple leaks in regards to the Nvidia leak, in regards to the Persona 3 remake leak. So yeah, I'm going to be just reading some things right here. It says, the insider said that he had seen preliminary builds of the Final Fantasy IX Remake and could confirm its existence. The game could be Sony exclusive, but at the moment it's not clear to what extent. According to the insider, in fact, it could be a PS5 exclusive or a simple marketing exclusive. The existence of the remake was anticipated by the Nvidia leaks of September 2021 and corroborated by several sources. After viewing the game, he stated that it definitely will not be releasing on the Nintendo Switch, perhaps due to top-end graphics, but also due to the possible end life of the console. The official announcement should arrive next year, but as always in these cases, we do remind you to take everything with a grain of salt. Final Fantasy IX is like one of my favorites in the entire series. It is up there with 4, 5, 6, like 7. It is fantastic. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Hopefully this is more of a traditional remake, not a Final Fantasy VII treatment remake. So yeah, this was part of that Nvidia leak that we heard about where everything came true, and now we're getting more information on it, and I am stoked! What kind of news did you guys like the best? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's anything else that you want me to cover next week in the news show. And as always, have a good day.